colder in here, Miranda.
I know. I'm gonna see what I can do about it. I started the stream, so.
Okay. You think we can do something about it?
Somebody has to do it like okay. Oh, but I can.
Okay.
Taking notes, not learning
Last finish.
Working on it.
Because I just feel like I'm getting cold. There's like a chill.
Yeah. I think these glass things here are to bring it like they're not very well integrated.
I'd like to bring the meeting to order and ask that roll be called.
Boucheron,
Here.
Feldman,
Here.
Hall,
Here.
Holzhauser,
Here.
Tyra, Wagenbach,
here.
yeah.
Here. I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next order of business is a public hearing for the 2025 tax levy. Could I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Nick. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Boucheron,
Aye.
Feldman,
Aye.
Hall,
Aye.
Holzhauser,
Aye.
Wagenbach,
Aye.
yeah.
Okay, motion passes. Time is 6:01. Is there anyone who would like to address the board regarding the 2025 tax levy? Okay, let the record show that no one is interested in addressing the board. Could I have a motion to close the hearing?
I move to close the public hearing.
Teresa, is there a second?
I'll second.
Yusuf, any discussion? Roll call vote.
Feldman,
Aye.
Hall,
Aye.
Holzhauser,
Aye.
Wagenbach,
Aye.
Jens,
Aye.
Boucheron.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Time is 6:02. Board will now move on to public participation portion of the meeting. Dr. Dearman, begin with the superintendent's report.
First item I have, a quick construction update. The new training center has steel in the air and they're slowly working that around. The goal originally was to have that buttoned up by the first of the year. We close it, work inside. Obviously that's not going to happen. Still making very good progress even in these cold temperatures. And then as far as Wilder Waste goes, we do have our facilities committee up and running and moving. And then also, we did have our first set of bids come in for the recast walls. That was budgeted to come in at $2.5 million by PJ Air. It came in at $2 million. So that was a pleasant surprise. Not counting chickens for their hatch, there's still a long ways to go, but that was a pleasant start to the process. With that, there'll be other discussions because we did value engineer some already to get it to where it was financially. Perfect example of that is the road that was to go around the entire back of the building. We eliminated that for cost. There would be conversation at some point, we're not there yet, but potentially bringing that back depending on how the rest of the bids come in and what kind of bids you might have. Safety meeting, had a safety meeting earlier this week. It comes several topics, not just safety. The SROs and their role in school and student discipline, exclusionary practices like suspensions and expulsions. This was hosted by Michelle Todd, Hodges, and Louisi. It was orchestrated by Mrs. Ellis, so thank you for that. And then some of the forms that are associated with those things they provided. I was pleasantly surprised at how well we were already in compliance. Really not much had to be changed, just updated a couple of forms in compliance with new legislation. But very happy that we seem to be on top of things and doing things the right way. Thank you to the Board of Education for the lunch that they provided today to the staff of the district office. Very much appreciated. And a special thank you to Nick Hall for coordinating it and delivering it to the office. So thank you, Mr. Hall. Winter break begins on Monday, December the 22nd. Schools will dismiss an hour early on Friday, and then all students come back January 5th. FOIA requests. We've had 2 FOIA requests since last meeting. Mr. McKinsey has completed both of those. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. At this time, we'll move on to public comments. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board? If so, raise your hand. This concludes the public participation portion of the meeting. Board will now move on. You have to raise your hand.
I forgot it.
Okay, Dr. Dearman.
I have
Recognize Dr. Dearman.
a follow-up to the last meeting, a bond update. Mr. McKenzie looked into it for us about the potential of not extending out some of the bonds. He got with Bernardi Securities, ran those numbers, and delivered that message to the board, which showed there's about a $650,000 savings by doing it the way that it was done. And those did close today, so it is fine. So thank you, Mr. McKenzie, for getting that information and delivering it to myself and the board.
Can I ask a question on that?
Sure.
Okay, I just want to, I think a few of us have a question here on this. Can you tell me, Mr. McKenzie, on this? If I look at the total P&I for both principal and interest, one is 66.4 with extending, one is 64.5 without. I see a capitalized interest number on here. Can you explain that number? One is 5.1 million, one is almost 600,000.
Yeah, when they are refinancing the honestly, it's somewhat, I don't know if I can explain it, you know, I really want them to explain it a little better about exactly what that means. But it has something to do with when there's an escrow account set up for the old bonds, and that's the capitalized interest. And so the new bonds that they're issuing are higher dollar amount because that $5 billion is going into that escrow to pay the interest on the old bonds. So somehow it's complicated because the old bond.
Would you be able to have him maybe send an explanation of that? Because, you know, U.S. GAAP for capitalized interest, right, is the interest cost during the construction period. The construction period, and I don't know if they're using U.S. GAAP here when they're doing capitalized interest, right? I just need to understand that because it still isn't making sense to me. So if you could get that.
I'll get a better explanation.
Thank you.
Just like we had Kevin Cutler look at it all and multiple bond councils and everything else when they structured it all. And they're the experts on that, so I'd rather them give a detailed explanation on it. So I'll get with them and have them write something up.
Because if I'm just looking at
But yeah, the cash flow is less because the new bonds are being issued at a lower rate and
extending the term.
And extending the term.
Yep.
And the new school building will have a payoff of 16 years, which is actually very short also. Usually you do these things for at least 20 years. So, okay,
I just like to understand that more, Mr. McKenzie, because the difference in interest is $2 million more. So if you can get that.
Yeah, you don't usually see that because usually you're just issuing new bonds. You're not doing restructures. It depends on call dates and all that.
But according to your email, just to clarify, and according to the email, a couple, 3 weeks ago, when the total,
Yeah, the total
regardless of the interest or the extension, or, I mean, a lot of that, yeah, there's pieces to it, but the total in aggregate is less.
Yeah, the total cash flow is less with the restructure than it would have been if we had just left the old bonds out there.
Great.
I would just like to see the explanation on that because of the principal and interest is
Yeah,
much
I'd rather
higher.
Them to explain it than.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't saying, yes, get all the information necessary. I just wanted to make sure. She's saying that, you know, interest is higher, but I wanted to clarify, but the total is
The total
less.
cash flows are less under this and would require less to pay in bond.
However, what we're paying out would be more, correct? Because the interest is higher.
Say again.
We are paying more in interest, extending that out, correct, by $2 million. So if you just look at it from a cash outlay perspective, if you could just give me the information, we'll be good to go. Thank you.
I think you should give it to us all because, yeah, 'cause
Okay, perfect, thank
I'll
you.
get a formal explanation, I'll send out probably just tomorrow, so surely.
Yeah.
Get it settled
and I'll be honest, I haven't thought about it since, Mike's email on November 24th that spoke to that. So
Right.
if there's something else that we should,
Yeah.
I guess, know about now after the fact, yeah, we want to, but I haven't given a lot of thought in the last 3 weeks. Okay. Oddly, this concludes the public participation portion of the meeting. The board will now move on to information discussion items. We have,
We had that last
I think I've got a
We had this
typo
last
here. Someone slipped me the wrong script.
Any questions concerning the activity reports?
Okay. This concludes the information discussion items. The board will now move on to the consent agenda. Is there any discussion regarding items on the consent agenda? Could I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Tim, is there a second?
Second.
Nick? Any discussion? Roll call
Paul?
Aye.
Olshauser? Aye. Wagenbach?
All right.
Yam?
Aye.
Boudreaux?
Aye.
Feldman?
vote. Aye. And motion carries. Time is 6:11. Board will now move on to action items. The bill list, treasurer's report, and district investment report is included in the packet. Could I have a motion to approve payment of the bills?
I'll move to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $5,687,950.19 as presented.
Thank you, Nick. Is there a second?
Second. Got it.
Tim? Any discussion? Roll call
Olshauser? Aye. Wagenbach?
Aye.
Yam?
vote. Aye.
Boudreaux?
Aye.
Feldman?
Aye.
Paul?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Information regarding the out-of-state trip for Dunlap High School varsity baseball team has been included in the board packet. Can I have a motion to approve this trip? I'll move to approve the out-of-state trip as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Nick, any discussion?
I just have a question. So this is zero district dollars paying for this?
That's
But then down the bottom line it says you can return home using the district provided transportation.
The activity bus.
That's district.
That's the district.
District bus.
Yeah.
So there is a cost to the district.
So there's gas in there.
Yes.
The gas driver who's driving the
Coaches.
coach.
Coach's drive.
There is some, it's just a little not truthful when it says no cost because you'd ever drive a bus and you're buying gas, right?
Yep. So we'll note that moving forward on these trips, Miranda, to make sure that gas is laid out as an expense to the
Okay.
district.
And it's an 8 hour, 7 hour drive, right? So it's not like it's nothing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Wackenbach?
Wait, any other discussion?
Sorry.
I'm gonna say no. I'll say no just because I'm disputing it.
Okay, now, well, this is all those in favor?
Just better go roll call.
Let's do a roll call now that we've had some discussion.
Wackenbach?
No.
Young?
Aye.
Boudreaux?
Aye.
Feldman?
Sure, it won't pass, but that's all right.
Paul?
Aye.
Olshauser?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 614. Didn't see that one coming, did I? Information regarding revisions to board policy 410 and student fees has been included in the board packet. Can I have a motion to revisions in board policy 410 and the 2026-2027 student fees?
I move to approve the revisions to board policy 410 and 2026-2027 student fees as presented.
Okay, is there a second? It's because people want to talk about it, I think, for a minute. So let me back up. Well, is there a second? All right, so without a second, then that motion fails, and I want to revisit this for a second. So for a second, just a second again. Why don't we split these two up? So why don't we tackle, Youssef, if you could, how about making a motion just to approve the revision of the board policy?
Yeah, I'll move to approve just the revision board policy 410.
Okay, is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Mick. Any discussion on that board policy
This is
410?
only about the collection of
That's
fees,
Yep,
correct?
Yep,
About what?
the
Teresa?
collection fees. that
Only
we-
the collection of fees.
Yep, that we covered last month. Yep.
So honestly, I know we had talked about this the last time where, students that can't pay for it, they can apply for the fee waiver. But I think it was the principal that stated that, I think it's over 100,000, is that correct, that of unpaid fees that we just never collect over? Yeah.
It's K-12.
So I just feel like we need to put a little bit more emphasis on that. It's not really fair for students that, all the families that are paying for it. Those that can't pay, they apply for the waiver, that's fair. But we can't just let families just decide not to pay for the fees and then,
Yeah.
if it was $1,000, so be it, but over 100,000, that's still a good amount.
Yeah.
Especially if we're gonna be talking about here soon about raising the activity fee.
Yep.
Why do that when we can collect the money when a simple, collection agency can help out with that? I'm not saying we're gonna get to the point of going to lawsuits, but I used to work for collections a little bit, and usually the first step right there works pretty well. They're not owing a crazy amount each family, unless they have a good excuse, they can bring that up to the administration.
Yeah.
I just think we need to make more.
First, well, this is in response to legislation.
Yeah,
Some of the things that we have done in the past, like not allowing student walk-in graduation.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. It's illegal.
no, exactly.
With that, you have made mention of, put an emphasis. Can you clarify what do you define as emphasis?
Well, have we ever even used a collection agency to attempt to collect?
We have, but we haven't pushed it like we have in the past because we've had these other measures in place. But really, that's our only recourse for action right now, homeless collection. So that will be the step now.
Yeah. So I think if we can do that, and see which one's gonna give us the best return and where it costs the less.
Because I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
We're just limited in what we can do. That is
Yeah.
one thing.
And I assume that before it goes to collection, we'll send one last letter saying, here's your balance, and the board is now approved collection, so pay it or else.
Anybody that gets turned into collection, it will not be a surprise to them. They have been tapped on the shoulder multiple times.
Other discussion?
So, as you indicated that, I'm looking at the collection of unpaid fees. So, if the unpaid fees are delinquent for 30 or more days, we're gonna provide a written invoice and provide them to option to enter into a payment plan, right? If they're unpaid or delinquent for 60 or more days, they're gonna be referred to a collection agency, is that correct? So just 2 months? That's what the policy right here is telling me.
Yeah,
Is that
but
all
there's
we're
been
getting at?
steps long before we get to that initial 30-day counter in the first
That's
place.
after, we'll start that at the beginning of the school year. So, and we start collecting fees in March. For the next school year. So at the beginning of the next school year.
Does it specify in here that?
What's
Maybe I
the due
missed
date?
it.
But that's how we've always. We can add that.
Since we're putting this into a policy, I just want to make sure that we have it clearly defined.
You wanna give them longer than the 60
Yeah.
days, Teresa?
I'm,
Look, it seems like they're getting already a 90-day grace period.
I don't know when it starts, that's the thing. It's 60 days doesn't seem
It occurs.
before it goes to
Yeah.
collection. I just want to make,
Yeah,
what's
so it's implied because of the fee that's being, the year it's being assessed for, but it
Yeah.
does not state the beginning of the school year.
what do
So
other
yeah.
schools do? Have you benchmarked, what is Metamora, what's Morton, what are they doing for unpaid, do you know? I'm just curious, I don't know either.
They're doing the same thing.
Is it 60 days?
I don't know.
30,
about
60?
specific
I-
time frames. If I got the question prior to the meeting, I could have researched this, but sitting in this chair at this point, I don't have that answer. I can just tell you I've had conversations with other superintendents because we're frustrated that some of the tools we had to recoup money are being taken away from us.
I agree.
So that was the conversation.
So what's the due date on these fees? Give me a due date. You got a date in mind or just,
Okay, so it'd be October 12th of next year.
so if somebody's not paid by November 12th, they're 30 days over?
Well, before, we didn't have, there was no reimbursement for unpaid fees. Now we would have it approved, if there's question, the first step would be turning them into collections. If, again, but on each structure, it's making them aware of a waiver if they don't otherwise qualify for free or reduced lunch. They don't, but there's another financial hardship or consideration we need to take into consideration to waive the fees. They have that option to doing that. As all school districts are required to do. In the state of Illinois, we've done that. We'd be no different in this instance.
So can we just add the date to the,
At the beginning of the school year. The clock can start up.
Yeah, right. I just want to make that clear.
all right, so just have that in there. Okay.
The current balance, 100K plus, that's all getting determined at once. There's no reason to hold on to it, but we're certain all at least 60 days.
I think we need to notify them
We
first,
haven't
right?
talked about that. I think, how we move forward that is a conversation we're still going to have based on this.
I think you just go into it with you just start the clock with the 30 and go to 60 and engage these people.
We do that. We're comfortable with that. For anything that's unpaid currently.
I mean, I'm comfortable with that, but
So we're saying the unpaid fees from the past are just on, you can't go after that.
Turning the collection.
no, that wasn't what I said. I said, I wouldn't say that Matt could leave the room. I'm picking on you, Matt, just because you're talking. Dr. Andrews can leave the room and just start. No, I think it starts with the 30 and 60 and you get the notices, but if you have a balance, you have a balance. Right? I think that's, other discussion. We're going to add the date to start to the letter. I don't think we need a separate motion for that. It seems intuitive, so it's fine.
You said you have a motion in a second.
Right. So, motion second, any more discussion? Okay, roll call.
Wagenbach,
Aye.
Yam,
Aye.
Boudreaux,
Aye.
Feldman,
Aye.
Hall,
Okay?
Holdhauser.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Now, that was the easier one of the two we split, remember, so let's see how this goes. Now I need a motion from someone for the 2026-2027 student fees. What you do is you can either make a motion for as it's presented, or you can throw a different motion on the table, if you'd like.
Well, Mr. Weidenbach contacted me about some ideas he had, so I think it'd be prudent to let him speak.
Yeah, I make a motion to make some adjustments to it because we know we're cash negative, I think. Nothing's changed that I was aware of in the last month, right? So I had some suggestions. You could move some of these fees, the base fees up, but I don't know if I quite understand how these are assessed. When you have this whole list of these down here, are these charged individually after your $90, right? And so what if there's no sports on here? They're included in the $90. Every sport's up in the $90.
As it currently stands, correct.
That's right.
So I would suggest that each sport should have a fee, not just the one blank $90. And most people aren't going to do 3 sports. Very few would do 3 sports. I think if I remember saw the data right. So I had in my mind you could do $100 per sport. I would raise your graduation up to $40. We're renting Bradley, which is more of a premier spot to have graduation. And then I would give them some kind of a cash discount when they come and pay by October 12th. I'll give you so many percent off or $20 off to have your bill paid when you come into school. Then we won't have this collection garbage that we're dealing with if they have that incentive. Maybe.
All right, did you get all that, Moran?
Got it.
Can you repeat it back to the rest of us?
So Tim suggested that he would like each sport charged a fee of $100 per sport, not just the $90 for the all-encompassing fee. He'd like to raise the graduation fee up by $40, right?
$240.
About
$240.
$240. And then he'd also like to offer a cash discount to those parents who pay their school fees by the October due date. Is that correct?
I think that's too late, actually. If they're in school, they ought to have it paid earlier, but I don't know what that October 12th means.
We're saying that it starts, and then you're talking about like prior to the beginning of the school year, or?
Because they're going to be in the sport already, or they're going to be doing the activity, so then what are you going to do, make them quit? You can't make them quit, so.
It should be a cash
I don't know
discount.
why you went to October 12th when you're saying the beginning of school. That's not beginning of school. So that wasn't making sense. Well, I thought you said October. Okay. Okay, it wasn't October. My mistake.
60 days from August.
That would be, that would be the 60-day point where we left for new collections for
Yeah, but 30 is what you said. It was you're going to do.
30 is a send letter, 60 is a collection.
Are you saying a discount on those who pay with cash? Do we get dinged on credit card payments? Certain percentage?
There is,
So this is all, we get a fee, they say, or get, but I don't know.
Is it like 3% or something like that?
But we don't pay that.
We
We
charge
ask
through
them.
them. I think I think we have it set up.
No,
so
we're,
they-
I
yes.
see. Okay, I got it.
I'm just trying to get the incentive out there to pay it.
I have no idea. Okay.
All right, well, let's break this down a little further here because,
Well, the devil's always in the detail. And to be honest, I'm a little frustrated. This is coming up tonight because we've known about this has been discussed and discussed for over a year. And the devil's always in the details. So you say each sport's $100. What is a sport? So are we going to hit marching band kids for $100? Are we going to hit speech team? Are we going to hit scholastic bowl? Or is it just football, basketball, baseball?
I had it on there, $100 per activity not listed. So if you want marching band not to have a fee, put it on the list with their own fee. That's how I wrote it up here, but I didn't.
Marching band pretty much pays their own separately, not on that list.
What's that?
I think the marching band pays, when my kids were in marching band, I think we paid, and it wasn't on the list, but I could be wrong. I guess my question would be, how do we move forward here with this?
band is on the list. Well, I said, let's try and break this down, because Tim threw out 3 basic things there. One was the fee for the sports.
Sport or activity.
Sport or activity, right? Yeah, activity, right? It's not a sport fee, it's an activity fee. So you had that fee, and then the graduation piece, and then the cash payment, but, is there, I had a couple people reach out to me earlier, but I did not get any indication about the $100 an activity or a sport or anything. All I was under the impression of is, about 7, 8 years ago, I was not on the board, Teresa was here, when there were some surpluses, there was an interest, and no one knew what to do with the extra money. We don't have that problem now, obviously, but they took the opportunity to lower costs. And so I think it was probably pretty arbitrary, but they just did something to say we're doing something. Took it from 100 down to 90. So again, with the context, backdrop of everything going on, I didn't disagree that this would be a time to just reverse what was done 7, 8 years ago, make it back up to 100, lacking any other specificity or details. I know we talked about this in February and March. You know, I thought that was reasonable. But I don't know that, but the $100, you know, per activity and that kind of stuff, I realize it's bigger bang for the buck, literally, but I don't know that I don't have enough information to sign on for that.
I would just comment that, and I'll say that I reached out to Tom and I appreciate him giving me some information from earlier this year about other districts and kind of what are they doing. And I was a bit surprised, honestly, to note that several of the local districts that actually don't charge activity fees at all, which is somewhat surprising. But even some of the bigger ones, I think Washington, I believe Morton does charge one, but Washington did not. So, I mean, that was a bit surprising. But I would be in favor of maintaining the present activity fee. I mean, I think when we look at those comparatively to these other districts and think about charging other, you know, for each activity, in other words, I think, you know, then we're kind of way outside of what other districts are doing. I don't know if we necessarily want to go in that direction.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments any more comments on that sport activity piece that they want to throw out there?
I just don't think it's appropriate to have a sporting fee additionally. I mean, people that have 3 kids are in school, that means they're paying, they want to do sports, they're paying $300 extra. That means with the times that we're in right now, if they can't afford that, then sorry, you can't play sports. Who loses at that? The student. You know what I mean? Just because a parent can't afford it, or they're going to pay it on their credit card. So, I mean, given the fact that other schools, I mean, districts, some of them aren't even charging that, why go that route? I mean, if we're going to talk about any of the fees, the only difference I would say is the parking fee here, the $50. I mean, if you park here, you pay a parking fee, and that's it. If you don't park, then you don't have to pay that fee. But besides that, I don't see why we would add any additional cost to these students or their families.
Why do you charge for parking?
Well, not everyone, not all students. You know,
When I
charge
do
for-
park, why do you charge for parking?
What's that?
Why do you charge for parking when I drive my car?
Well, I mean, the maintenance of the parking lot in general.
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about sports, you know.
You don't have maintenance in your sports complexes?
No, what I'm saying is when it comes down to parking, not every student parks, right? A lot of them, if it comes down to there's 3 students driving the same car, the senior's driving their brother and sister, that's sophomore and freshman. It's just going to be one parking fee. But those 3 students that want to play sports, now you're talking about triple the fee, $300.
They don't have to play sports, they can do other things to occupy their time, so that's all right. Okay, I'm not gonna really listen to you guys, just go ahead and spend the money for it.
Well, so, I mean, you threw some stuff out there. I mean, do you want to make a motion on
Well,
any
do
or
I need to
all?
change it? You want me to change it, you mean?
Well, no, I mean, I don't know that, you know, in its, even how Miranda restated it back, that, I mean, you can put that out there and, I mean, we have to get a second on it, but I don't know that it's got, I mean, I'm not, again, it's news to me, the idea of, you know, $100 a sport.
It's not either. I talked about this 4 months ago, and you said bring it up next summer, whenever it is.
I said it's it's news to me that it would be $100 a sport, Tim.
That's what I said back then too.
I don't think you said $100 a sport. I think
Okay.
you said 100 for the first one,
And the second one was-
150 for the
Okay.
second one, 200 if you did 3, and it'd be capped at 200.
You want to do that then? Let's try that.
No, well, I'm just telling you what you said because you misremembered what you said.
Yeah,
I'll
we
change my
can
motion
check
and say
that.
150 for the second one and 200 for the third.
Tim.
Is that your motion?
Go ahead.
I just did a quick search here on what Morton High School fees are, just to give you what I'm seeing here, and I would have to, of course, do my due diligence to make the call, but a supply and technology fee of $230, an activity fee of $95, marching band fee is $650, instrument maintenance fee $50. They have driver education, summer school 75, driver education first and second semester 75, so we are not to that level. And of course, I would have to do, like I said, my due diligence to validate all of that, but just with a quick search, that's what I see. So I don't think, Tim, that you're off base by any means.
I missed the first part of that. Who was discharging that? Somebody else?
This is Morton. I looked up Morton High School fee schedule for 2025-26. And supply and technology fee alone is $230. So I just, maybe there is something there that we need to take a look and do benchmarking once again to see where we're at. But you're absolutely right. Tom, when I was on this board, we had a surplus for multiple years in a row, right? Or at least 1 or 2, or we were managing that very well. We're not going to see that moving forward, so this is the time to take this and take a look at it. That's all I have.
You might be right. I did say 100, 150, and 200. So if you want me to go back to that, I don't want to change my word. But
Well, I don't
that's
want you to
fine.
do anything. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you that it was news to me that 100, 100, 100. That's all. I'm just clarifying. All right, so I need a motion on something from someone.
So I just did it. 100, 150, and 200, and then change the graduation to $40.
Is that your motion?
Yeah.
Would anyone like to second that?
I'll second.
Okay, is there any discussion on that? I'll just say that, yes, that did come up, but it hasn't been talked about since February. So, I think that's a bridge too far for me without, talking it through.
Just to add on, I don't know the legal basis of being able to stop a student from playing sports if they can't pay for the fee.
Can't.
So,
I didn't say there was.
well, I mean, you said if we can't, I mentioned earlier if they can't pay the fee, then they need to pay before they play or they can't play. So I'm just clarifying what you're saying.
No, I didn't say they couldn't play. I just said they need to know the fee, and we'll get them an incentive to pay it early. But they should carry their own baggage.
I'm just curious, and I don't want to go down a rabbit hole
Too
here,
late.
but to the point of Teresa on the fees, benchmarking and looking at other districts, like, do we do that? I'm just curious, is that something that's the norm in terms of comparative to other districts, and then pull
Yes,
from that?
we do, all the time,
Mm-hmm.
on many things. Just remember, this has to be in place this month, because this is not new news, the board knew this, we had to have it in December, talked about it many times, because the online registration starts at the first of the year, and these things have to be in place, or we're trying to chase people now, which we want to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, something has to be in place. It doesn't have to be.
It can be any, it can just stay status quo, but if there's gonna be changes, it needs to be done now. So if we have a motion in a second,
Can you restate the graduation fee? I didn't hear.
$40.
$40.
Okay, other discussion on that? Roll call vote, Miranda.
Bergeron,
No.
Feldman,
No.
Paul,
Nope.
Holzhauser,
Yes. I
Wagenbach,
Yes.
yeah.
No.
Okay, that motion fails. Would anyone like to offer up a different motion?
I'd like to move to keep the fee at $90 as it's been, and remain everything the same.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on that?
I'll just make one comment. If we had a balanced budget, I would have no problem with that. And that's my only comment.
Any other discussion on that?
Keeping the fee at $90.
Are you including anything for the increase from graduation fee to
No,
10,000?
he's just going with the,
Basically the same.
he's just going with the fees as presented.
Yeah, exactly how we have it. No increase. We
I
want to
think,
collect.
sorry, Yusuf. I would just quickly comment. I mean, to Teresa's point, I don't think the activity fee is where we're going to get the budget balanced here. I think we have bigger conversations on that basis, and we've discussed some of those, but I think those conversations need to continue as we move forward.
Other discussion? Okay, roll call vote, Miranda.
Feldman,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Holzhauser,
No.
Wagenbach,
No.
Yam, Bergeron.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Information regarding the 2026-2027 course selection guide has been included in the board packet. Can I have a motion to approve the 2026-2027 course selection guide?
I move to approve the 2026-2027 course selection guide as presented.
Yusuf, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mick, any discussion? Roll call vote.
Paul,
Aye.
Holzhauser,
Aye.
Wagenbach,
Yeah, aye. Aye.
Yam,
Aye.
Bergeron,
Aye.
Feldman.
Aye. Motion carried. Information regarding the 2025 tax levy has been included in the board packet. Can I have a motion to approve the 2025
I do have
tax levy?
The levy that's presented to you today, I just want to point out, is slightly different than the one in November. Totals are exactly the same. The amount between IMRF and Social Security has been changed. After talking with the auditors and everything, I just wanted to point out that the total is exactly the same. It's just I moved all the levy into Social Security and none in IMRF. We don't need the levy in that. We need the part of it. So the totals are exactly the same.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the 2025 tax levy? Post Mike's comments.
I'll move to approve the 2025 tax levies presented.
Okay, Mick, the motion.
Second.
Nick with the second. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, Miranda.
Paul,
Aye.
Holzhauser,
Aye.
Wagenbach,
Aye.
Yam,
Aye.
Bergeron,
Aye.
Feldman.
Aye. Motion carried. The resolution to abate taxes on the general obligation school boards, alternate school bonds, what did I say, school boards? Alternate revenue source, series 2018 has been included in the board packet. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution?
Just for information, these are the bonds that we pay using the county school facility sales tax money. So we have to tell the county clerk, do not charge the taxpayers for this. We have an alternative source to pay it, aka the sales tax money. So that's what this is approving. That's about $90,000 a month on that payment. To put it in perspective, our last distribution for sales tax last month was $190,000. So all that money goes into capital projects, and we can use it on other capital.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I move to approve the resolution as presented.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Olshauser,
Aye.
Wagenbach,
Aye.
Gams, Bergeron,
Aye.
Feldman,
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Information regarding the IASB professional services contract for the superintendent search has been included in the board packet. Can I have a motion to approve the contract?
Can I ask you a question, Tom?
Yep.
When does this start? I didn't have to look at it again. Was the timeline in here?
No. So once we agree to this, then we're going to reach back out to them and then sort of starts based on what we need. They know that our time is from July 27 backwards, and they're going to work with us kind of to fit our needs. And they're going to have they didn't want to do it ahead of getting paid, but once they are paid, we can do it via conference call if we have to, or they'll come back and sit with us. But what they want to understand better from us, and I don't know that we know, but they want to have a better idea is how much earlier from that July 27 do you want your new superintendent in place? And so they want to have that conversation with us, but they're a little leery about putting in any more extra work prior to having us execute on the contract.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for a motion.
I am.
That's me. Okay, I move to approve the contract as presented.
Thank you, Teresa. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Yusef. Any other discussion on that? Roll call vote.
Gams,
Aye.
Bergeron,
Aye.
Feldman,
Aye.
Hall,
Aye.
Olshauser,
Aye.
Wagenbach.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. This concludes the action items portion of the meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn to closed session? No one got to me ahead of time, so I don't know if there's any issues that people want to discuss. I don't have any, but happy to entertain a motion from the list. A through G. You just have to get into specifics, but you have to tell me the topic you want to make the motion on. All right. If not, could I have a motion to approve the human resources consent agenda?
I move to approve the human resources consent agenda as presented.
Teresa, is there a second?
Second.
Nick? Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Bergeron,
Aye.
Feldman,
Aye.
Hall,
Aye.
Olshauser,
Aye.
Wagenbach,
Aye.
Gams.
Aye.
Strong. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn for the holidays.
No. That's all right. Everyone knows I'm here.
Feldman.
But I don't need motions
I'm sorry.
on the human resources. That's fine. Again, it's fine. I don't want to, yeah, it's fine. Is there a motion to adjourn? You got it yourself. Okay, second. Nick, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Time is 6:47. He was.
If you don't want to spend.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
You gotta find some money.